channel. This is Health Focus with Amy, and if you're joining us for the very first time, karibu sana. Down there is a subscription button. Hit it and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time we upload a very new video. This is the platform that focuses on purely health matters. We get consultants of various activities and we get to know how they got into that specialty, what that specialty is all about, and manage a condition that is so common in the statistics of this country, Kenya, so that we know when to seek for help. In case you need to know more about this specialist we are featuring, kindly comment down below, DM myself and in the social platforms indicated down below, so that in case we need to get back to you, we can help you in a due time. Today we are so happy to have one of the specialists in a very rare field. It's so new even to myself, and I would like to give her a chance to introduce herself. Karibu sana, Margaret.
Thank you, Emily, for having me. My name is Margaret Karani, a counseling psychologist and by profession, and just about to finish my clinical psychology. I'm doing my thesis.
All right. Thank you, Margaret. When you say counseling psychologist, what is that course all about? What is counseling psychology?
Okay. Counseling psychology is a branch of psychology that mainly deals with more healthy clients, that we help them in maybe stress management, maybe adjustment issues, loss and grief. Well, clinical psychology will deal more with mental conditions. They'll diagnose, assess, and treat mental conditions. Well, counseling psychology will do less of the conditions, the mental conditions. So if a mental condition comes to a counseling psychologist, unless it is at least not it's at its mild phase, well, the clinical psychologist will deal with it at moderate and severe aspect.
For purposes of knowledge, for the people viewing and for the students who will want to do something like that, how do I say this is mild, this is major, this is extreme, moderate? What parameters will I use?
Regarding if we are talking about depression, we can talk about mild, moderate, and severe. All mental conditions, you have mild. There's a mild state, there's a moderate state, there's a severe state. Okay. Mild, maybe most of the time there are no severe symptoms, and maybe they have not started they have not started interfering in their daily activities, or maybe the issues that they have, they feel they are a bit off, but they can of course continue their daily living activities. Well, moderate and severe, it has started having some impact on the same.
Okay. Yeah. How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? And how did you find yourself in this psychology?
Wow. I grew up in Banana. Banana is just around this Kiambu area. I would classify ourselves, it was a middle income family, and I can say it was just a normal family upbringing. I'm the firstborn in a family of 3 girls. I went to school in Tigoni Primary School, went to high school in Gitwe. Then I became confused. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I found myself in a nursing class. Actually, I think I was doing nursing not knowing what I really want, but maybe the aspect of working in a hospital and what have you. So I found myself in a nursing class in the Presbyterian University just here, the class of 208.
To top up on Margaret, this is the main reason and the main focus why we do this talking of healthcare matters. As you can see, Margaret got onto a nursing class because of how life predisposed her. She really didn't know what nurses were doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you are in a nursing class,
So we come to I get into a nursing class, and I do actually a whole year.
Wow.
Yes.
Of nursing.
Of nursing.
Wow.
But now the problem was they didn't. I think they had not involved the nursing council when they were picking their first class. So I had not qualified in biology.
Wow.
In biology, I had a C minus, and the nursing council wanted, I think, a C. So I had to change.
After 1 year?
A whole year.
In nursing school?
Yes. So I can tell you about biochem, microbiome, all those things.
Wow.
Yes. So, but the beautiful thing is that we had done psychology as a unit. Yes, as a unit, and I found myself more aligned to it.
You loved it.
Yes, I loved it, and I think I can associate more with psychology than nursing. Though actually by then I was passing the units we were doing, but now from the psychology unit, I felt, this is more appealing to me than this nursing.
So how was the news of you can't proceed with nursing after 1 year? How did you take the news and what impact did it have to your life?
It was very devastating. I remember I really, really cried.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember when we were called in an office, and we were the lady then, I don't remember her name, would just cut tissues.
Wow.
As she's explaining why you cannot do nursing. But I remember
I am it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad situation.
Yes. But I remember, and I'm always grateful. I would say he was teaching us microbiome and biochem, because he was very influential in me now shifting to psychology, because now he linked me up with Outspan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I moved now to Outspan, and they were very friendly, and they told me actually our training is more hospital based, and I thought, wow. So I'll still be in a hospital, even if I'll not be doing nursing.
So your main desire or focus was just to find yourself in healthcare?
Yes.
That's all?
Yes.
So whatever course you did, whatever career you pursued out of the 17 cadres, didn't matter?
Yes.
Okay. You find yourself in Outspan? In
Outspan. And
did you apply, or you were just picked and put?
I was linked by my microbiology and biochem teacher. So I remember I went into, so you see we started in 2008, so we were being told about we can't continue around September 2009. And so by the time I'm going to Outspan, it was October, November there. So already now Outspan was a new college, and their first class was in that 2009.
Okay, for the purposes of people who don't know what this Outspan is, where it's found.
Oh, okay. Outspan Medical College is in Nyeri. It's a substitute of the Outspan Hospital. Now the Outspan Hospital is now Outspan Teaching and Referral Hospital. So they have a college now. I think this is their 11th year. Yeah, and they teach all the medical courses. They teach clinical psychology, lab, nursing, counseling, health records.
Wow.
I think now they are doing also nutrition.
It's a full-blown college,
college
of healthcare sciences.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's proceed. You find yourself in
Outspan. So you see, it was around November. So, but I also thank God for my parents, because they were very, very supportive. I was feeling a bit discouraged and depressed. Yes, I didn't know what depression meant, but I think the beauty is that I cry. So,
so you cried.
I cried, and I remember asking my parents whether they would, instead of investing in education, I would just become a farmer. But I remember my dad telling me, now you're giving up at this age. I was now 22, 23. So if you're giving up at 22, 23, so when you're 40, do you know the many life challenges that you'll encounter?
But you can easily give up.
You can easily give up. Having invested a whole year.
A whole year in nursing, you have 2 years to go to finish.
Yes, a whole year, and now you need to restart again in an area you have no idea what it is, because the only beauty was that it will be more focused in a hospital. But 2009, who knew about counseling?
Nobody. I've never heard. Really, I had it when I met you working. Up to now, I'm struggling to understand anyway.
Yes.
Let's proceed.
So, but I felt I was not ready to enter that class in that November 2009. So we agreed I would now come in 2010.
So you stayed home?
Yes, I stayed home.
What were you doing at home?
Just normal activities. As we are farmers, so I would get involved in maybe dairy farming.
Out of the students that were told you can't proceed with nursing, how many were you?
I think we were 4. Yeah, I think we were 4. But I only kept in touch with only one who went to do mass communication actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
From nursing to mass communication.
Yes. And she's actually doing very well in that field.
Allow me emphasize on this. This platform is basically to teach you the various careers we have in healthcare, such that you don't find yourself in a class that you didn't have to be in the first place, because that's not where God has cut you out for. Nursing and communication is totally different. It's a totally different line. So as you can see the story of Margaret, it mirrors somebody from nursing, and it's like you're just moving with the wave. May you identify your career early enough so that you can stick to a lane at an early stage, and you don't have to struggle in making your career end properly. So now you are in Outspan, you get to the 2010, you get into the counseling psychology class. A smooth study?
Yeah, it was, I would say it was a bit, it was a task, because you see I needed to cover what they had covered in the semester of September 2009 to December. And I had also married with January 2010 to April.
Allow me to understand. The class began in September, you stayed home.
Yes. You see, by the time I was leaving nursing, was around October, November. So these guys had already started in September. So even when I'm going to Outspan, it was, I think, beginning of November there. They had, I think, a month.
Oh, they had done a month.
Yeah, they had a month to finish the semester, because they were finishing the semester in December, the first.
And you said to hell, home up to the following year.
Yes.
That's depression.
Maybe it was part of the depression and unbelief.
That's depression.
Yes.
And stress.
And stress and a bit in denial and what have you. But I am always grateful, because you see it was a pioneer class.
Oh yeah.
So we were 2 of us who joined now in 2010. One was in, I think, doing clinical medicine, and I was doing counseling. No, she was doing clinical medicine and I was doing nursing. And you see the classes had started in 2009. But the management had formed a way after classes would have like remedials to cover what the guys had covered in two semester. And we had, of course, more exams than the rest. But mid 2010, I caught up.
Oh.
Yeah.
What will you say was fun in school, Outspan, when you are doing counseling psychology?
The beauty, I think, the fact that actually their course, they call it a diploma in the mixed clinical and counseling.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, actually they mix, their diploma is diploma in clinical counseling psychology. So they have mixed the both.
Okay, enable somebody understand. So in a diploma level, there is clinical psychology, and then there is counseling psychology.
It is only, I think it's only Outspan that has done that, because the other institutions have checked, they only have diploma in counseling.
Diploma in counseling psychology?
Yes, in counseling psychology.
If you look for a diploma in clinical psychology, will you find it?
No, I don't think. I've checked. I've only found they are the only ones who have done that. They have married that, both.
Because it's hospital
setup.
It's I think that would be the difference.
Yes.
Because a university caters for everything.
Yes.
But because Outspan is a hospital, it caters for hospital, health clinical psychology.
Yes.
So what is the difference when, the difference when you are doing clinical psychology and counseling psychology in a school setup? What is the difference?
The difference is they will not have a focus on medical conditions and more of mental conditions. And like when you're doing clinical, and of course you'll not be exposed in a hospital setting.
Okay.
Yes.
What will you say were the challenges in Outspan school when you were a student?
The challenges were, of course, being away from home. You're in Nyeri. I didn't know anyone in Nyeri. And also there was a lot of reading and catching up, and also getting to find a bearing and getting to know who you are. Because one thing I love about psychology is it enables you understand you.
Before you start understanding.
Before you start understanding other people. And I think that was where my growth started. because, and also the beauty was they did it, if I look back, their approach is more of like the nursing, because they focused on clinical course content. Then now they had almost an year of
clinical experience.
Yes, because we had attachment 1, attachment 2, and 6 months internship.
Still there, up to date?
Yes, still there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still there.
All right.
Yeah.
We will proceed with your studies at the tail end, because I also know that your studying has not stopped.
Yes.
You've really done so much.
Yes.
I want us to focus on a condition that is, when you look at the statistics of the country, and especially in this time of COVID, you realize like we have so many people suffering with that condition. And you said clinical psychology is mental health.
Yeah.
And that is what you do. And you are a clinical psychologist, and you are a counseling psychologist. Yes.
Okay, I did now that diploma. Before we go back, I know you'll still come back to this. Then I did a degree in counseling psychology, just pure counseling psychology, and now I've done a master's in clinical psychology. I'm just about to finish my thesis. So your question was,
Who are you?
Who am I? Now I'll soon, maybe if you ask the question again next year after I've gotten my certificate in clinical, I'll tell you I'm a clinical psychologist.
So right now you're a counseling psychologist.
Yes.
But focusing, and when you say you are going to be clinical psychologist, that's like a subspecialty.
Yes.
Of counselors.
Yes.
Because there's so many subspecialties of counseling psychologists.
Yes. When you do counseling psychology is general. You can also still do a master's in counseling psychology to just focus on the general everything. Then there is also clinical psychology that focuses on mental conditions and personality conditions, all those, the diagnosis, assessment and treatment of the same. There is forensic psychology that will focus mainly on crime and what have you. There is marriage and family therapy that will mainly focus on families and marriage. Child psychology is also a specialty.
All right.
Education psychology, organizational psychology that will now deal with corporates.
Okay.
Yes.
As you can see, there's so many lines of counseling psychology specialization fields. There's so many. So where did you do your counseling psychologist in general?
I did it in Africa Nazarene University around 2013 to 2016. Yes.
How can you explain the experience of being a general counseling psychologist?
The experience it's good, but of course, as you continue, the beauty of learning, we learn every day. As you continue, you find yourself that there's a limit that you can't go beyond, and that makes you go back to class so that you can be able to reach or work on certain limits that you have found that there are a few limitations. And I think that was my challenge. When I did my diploma, I practiced. Actually, by God's grace, I came to Kikuyu Hospital for my internship. Then later on, I was called for locum and later employment. And so I worked. Then I felt I was being given interns. Yes, I was given interns, and interns are coming in with degrees and masters, and you wonder, okay. So again, you go back to a degree. You feel there's still some, it's like you find that there's a place that you can't go beyond. And I found myself going back again to class.
To do your master's in clinical psychology.
Yes.
Where are you doing your master's in psychology? Which university?
USIU. Yes, I've been doing it in USIU.
Finishing next year? Yeah,
I would say I'm working on I hope I'll be in the graduation list next year because I'm now working on my thesis.
Nice.
Yes.
So as you can see, viewers, if you want to do anything to do with psychology, this is the info. This is the information. And if you want more about this counseling and clinical psychology stuff, kindly comment down below. Let's engage, and all this is going to be as easy as it has become easy to me. Thank you for viewing. Subscribe, like, share, and let's do this again next time as we address a medical condition with her.